Hi, everyone. My name is Rhonda Jackson. I'm one of the counselors here at Shepherd University, and I want to welcome you to Shepherd. We're really excited that you all are here with us. And I'm just going to take some time to talk with you all today about how to be physically and emotionally healthy, because that's what's going to help you be academically successful here at Shepherd. So coming to school is really exciting. Coming to college is, just such a great time. And the great things about it are you're meeting new people, you're learning new things, you're having new experiences. Um, but also those things can be challenging. So there's, stress isn't necessarily in and of itself bad. Like anything that's a change or a challenge, our mind and our body experiences that as stress. And some stress is really great. It's exciting, it's new stuff, but also stress can be a result of things that are challenging and things that are hard. And as we definitely know in life right now, that's what life is, right? It's a mix of things that are really great and things that are really challenging, and they all happen at the same time. And so our body experiences that as stress, and it's really important to know how to navigate that so that we can be healthy and successful. So all students that are coming to college have all of these same kinds of wonderful and challenging stressors all at the same time. But for our international students, you guys do have some unique challenges, and I've been here at Shepherd University for 13 years, and I've had an opportunity to work with some of our international students. And you guys do have some unique challenges. If English is not your first language, then there's the language barrier issue that can certainly be a challenge. That can happen, when you're trying to make friendships with people that aren't already in the international program, when you're trying to have conversations with professors or understand the information that they're trying to teach and impart to you. So the language issue can definitely cause you guys extra stress. Also, just being super far from home. I work with students that live, in another state or in southern West Virginia, and they're 4 or 5 hours from home, and they struggle with homesickness, and that is a very real thing. So it's just that idea of being away from what's familiar, from your room, from your home, from your friends, from your family. For you guys, language, familiar foods, customs. So when that homesickness hits, for our folks that are 4 hours from home, that can be really different than when you're so far from home in another country. So that is a unique and extra challenge and stress that you guys have on board. I think in the past too, when I've worked with some other international students, there have been really high expectations about how they're going to do academically when they get here to school. Maybe, you guys did amazing in school before coming here, and that happens for our students from here in the US too. Maybe high school was just where they just did phenomenally as students, and the expectation is that that's going to continue at that same level. But the adjustment to college, college is different, and the academic rigor can be different. So sometimes also families have really just invested time and money and resources to be able to get students here to college. So I think sometimes I see our international students feel an extra level of stress and pressure to be able to really knock it out of the park and really succeed academically. But there's an adjustment period, and there might be this period of time where you don't function academically at the same level that you're used to. And that is just okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to get back to what your level of functioning usually is. But please don't be surprised if there's an adjustment period as you get used to things here. I think also a concern that can be unique for our international students is concerns about maybe what's happening at home. Again, if I have a student that lives 4 or 5 hours away and a family member gets sick or something's going on at home, they have the access to be able to get back there, more readily. There could be things going on at home for you guys that you've got, on your mind. And again, the distance makes that a little bit harder to deal with. So again, all of these things are super understandable, but when they're happening in our life, then it causes stress, which impacts our mind and our body. So some of the ways that stress can have a negative impact if we don't know how to deal with it in a healthy way is physically. So one thing to understand about stress in our body is that if you already have a physical issue, like maybe you've got belly issues or back pain or things like that, you've kind of already got a health issue going on. Stress can seem to find its way to our most vulnerable part of our body and really show up in that. So maybe if someone's got GI problems or belly problems, then they have a lot more of issues in that area, or just illness. It kind of wears down our immune system and we just get sick more easily. It can disrupt our sleep. It can make it very hard for us to fall asleep. Also, it can change and we can sleep all the time. It can throw our appetite off. It can really increase our appetite or decrease our appetite. So just understanding that if you're having physical symptoms or you seem to be getting sick all the time, that might be an important thing to pay attention to, is like, what is my stress level? Am I dealing with my stress okay? Stress can also impact our mind and our brain and just our emotional well-being. So this can look like feeling really sad or irritable all the time, really hard to motivate, hard to focus and concentrate. So, these kind of things, we tend to label these as kind of falling under the label of depression. And depression can be really debilitating if we don't address it and don't take care of it. And sometimes it even escalates up to people not wanting to live anymore. So it's something really serious that we, really need to take care of and pay attention to. And it's a very understandable result of stress and not being able to manage stress well. The other way it can show up is that we just kind of worry all the time. We just worry about everything, worry about what's happening at home, worry how we're doing in school, worry are we going to make friends, worry if we're going to do well on this exam. So that we tend to label as anxiety, and it's just kind of this very nervous, on edge, worrisome feeling that we have all the time. And that also, can really, really take a toll. So sometimes also what happens when we're struggling with depression or anxiety is we really draw back and away from everybody, and we tend to just really isolate and just spend a lot of time alone. And that can just absolutely feed the stress, depression, anxiety. So again, just paying attention to how am I doing? How am I feeling physically? What is my mood like? We all have fluctuations in mood. Sometimes we're sad, sometimes we're upset, worried, mad, but we should also be happy and be having a good time. And if you're finding yourself sad most of the time or worried most of the time, that's really important to pay attention to, and that's something that we would want to help you with before it, kind of gets out of control. So when we have this really challenging stress that's happening and it is impacting our health and it is impacting how we're doing emotionally, it's really hard to be successful in school, because if you're having trouble motivating to get to class, or log in for an online class that you have, or you just don't have the energy to do homework and studying, or you're not doing the things to take good care of yourself, you're not spending time with friends, you're not talking with family, then it's really hard to be successful academically. So again, this is why we're talking with you about this and trying to make sure this is something that you're aware of, so that if this stress does become overwhelming and you're not feeling well physically or emotionally, again, we can address it so that you can be successful here at school. So some of these things might seem super obvious, but when we're under stress or we have a lot going on, sometimes we let go of these really basic things. For example, really important to eat healthy. When we're overwhelmed and stressed, sometimes people just grab what's easy, processed food, junk food. They don't have the energy to go down and get a balanced meal or make a balanced meal for themselves, and they're just kind of eating a bunch of junk. And that's really not good for the body, and that only adds to the stress and the difficult time that our body has being able to function well. Drink plenty of water. Stress literally releases chemicals into our body. So we need to be drinking a lot of water to keep our body physically healthy and to flush out toxins. And again, people can turn to a lot of soda or beer, alcohol, and none of that is going to help your body feel good and do well. So just making sure that you're staying really hydrated and getting plenty of water. Daily exercise, I cannot say this enough. So much research has been done that shows that the more we sit, so we're sitting in class, we're sitting to do homework, we're sitting to do video games, we're sitting in meetings, we're sitting to hang out with friends, the more we sit, the more sedentary we are, the worse that it is for our mind and for our body. Our bodies were designed to be in motion most of the time. So please walk to class. Don't take the bus. Whatever form of exercise you love, whether that's walking, running, riding a bike, yoga, lifting weights, playing basketball, playing soccer, whatever that is, make sure that you are in motion every day and that you are trying to get some sort of daily exercise. If you go across the bridge, across the river right here that's next to the university, there is a beautiful walking path that runs right alongside the river. It's gorgeous. So get out, go for a walk. That's also the healthiest way to spend time with friends, is to be outside. This is our, in the middle of this pandemic, being outside is one of the safest ways to spend time with people. So get out and go for a walk along that beautiful river. Sleep is also crucial. 8 hours of sleep. Sleep is when our body repairs and recovers, and it is crucial for our physical health and our mental health. So, please make sure you're dedicating enough time to sleep. And if you're having trouble getting to sleep because you're anxious or worried, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a second, but we can help you with that. So don't let that problem go. It's also, really important to take care of yourself emotionally. Learn to take one day at a time. That's hard when you're in school and you've got a plan. Okay, I've got this test coming up. I have this thing I need to study for. This paper's due in 2 days. Definitely use a planner. Definitely work with time management. Again, that's something else we can help you with. But also not letting yourself constantly worry about what's coming up the next day, next week, just worrying about that all the time. The only day we have right now is the one that we're in. So when you catch yourself being really caught up in that anxious thinking, what if this happens? What if this goes wrong? Come back to today and focus on what you have going on today and take one day at a time. Don't put too much on your plate. Don't be worried about too much at one time. Yes, it's important to focus on school and do well academically, but you also need to be able to strike a nice balance and be able to have schoolwork, but also time to just hang out, time to have fun, time to be with friends, time to get that exercise in. So making sure, yes, that school's a priority and you're putting time towards school, but balancing that with things that just make you feel good and things that you enjoy. Just talking with friends and family and your support network here at Shepherd, being willing to share what the challenges are, what's hard, what's difficult, what's awesome, what's going well, what your accomplishments are, what you're really excited about. But what we know is that when we have stress and worry and anxiety, and we keep that all inside, it just kind of festers in there. And again, it makes us sick physically and emotionally. So it's important to talk about what's going on, good and challenging, and then to also let those people help you. If you come up with a game plan of how to address an issue, and part of that game plan is talking to your professor. Professors have office hours for a reason. They want you guys to go to them and ask questions, get clarification, get help. Student affairs, that's a whole division here on campus that is about helping you be successful. Our student success offices, the international student staff. So there are so many people here that want to support you and help you be successful. Let us know what's going on. Let us help you be successful. And counseling services is definitely part of that team. We're here to help. We want to help. We can help with a ton of things: time management, anxiety about how to make friends, homesickness, any of those, maybe depression or anxiety type feelings or symptoms that are coming up. What we want to do is be able to partner with you and be a safe place without judgment that can help you figure out maybe what's not working great, or coming up with a stress management plan, just so that you can feel good both physically and emotionally, and that you can be successful. And it's really easy to make an appointment. So you go to Shepherd's main page, and you go under current students, and you go all the way down to RamPulse, and you click on RamPulse. And there's, at the top, it says organizations, and you click on that. And then there's a search bar and you just put in counseling, and counseling services page will pop up. And then there's a place that you just click that says request an appointment. And it just has some questions, just your name, how we contact you, your email address, things like that. And you just fill that out and you hit submit. And then one of the counselors, right now there's two of us, there's myself and there's Wendy, we'll reach out to you and we'll find a time that works good for your schedule. So really, really excited that you all are here. Please let us know whatever we can do to help you and support you, and have you be successful here as a Shepherd Ram. So thanks so much, and I hope that this was helpful.